Hey there, welcome to my live stream. This is a show about money, investing. We talk about the stock market. We talk about the economy. We talk about things you could do to better yourself in the future. We talk about all kinds of things here. But the thing I want to talk to you about is what we all need to talk about, maybe the most. And that is, I think, mindset. And I know it's like such an overused buzzword, that's lost its value. But I really do believe there is a mindset that successful successful clients have. And I could tell you throughout my clientele of working with people who are successful, for the most part, they they don't think about business 24 hours a day. They really don't. They don't obsess over business and money, things like that. And they get a real kick out of doing things that to a lot of us might seem not worth your while. We'll talk about. In fact, let's just roll the intro now, and then I'll get into that. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. I want to get into a good riff. All right, so stick with me here. And of course, we'll talk about Disney's earnings. CPI just came out. Now that they're out, nobody cares. And we go on to the next economic statistic or the next big news from the Fed or the budget ceiling to try to scare you. Listen, if you weren't worried about anything, you would never watch news or financial news or read anything about it. Right? So, but that's the way it goes. Here we go. All right. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. And it's remarkable that tomorrow we come in, it's Thursday, obviously, but the point I'm making is how quick the weeks go by. Like, when is spring going to get here? And it's like we're almost the middle of May already. Crazy. My Facebook feed is just covered with with a college graduate posts, which is awesome. I love to see that. And in another couple of weeks, we're going to see all the high school graduate posts, and I love that too. And it's really cool, like to be at a stage of life where you see your friends have babies, they get big, they start growing up. I mean, I'm at a stage now where the weddings are here, like friends, kids are getting married, and it's really cool. And it wasn't that long ago that I was in like the, another stage, the bar mitzvah stage, for example. It's really cool to see this. And don't get me wrong, I have one of my friends, her daughter just had a bat mitzvah like not even a year ago. But that was like the last of them for my little cohort. I mean, I have others to go to, but they're kind of fewer and further between. But now the weddings, the engagement parties and stuff are here, and that's pretty cool to see. And then you see your friends' kids, start having babies. It's like it blows your mind. Like, wow, see like one of your best friends turn into a grandparent. It's pretty cool. It's actually the best part of humanity. Let's talk about a little bit of perspective and what wealthy clients do. And this might sound strange to you, but my I'm just telling you the of what I see. And some of this might seem a little. This first one might seem a little petty or obscure, but it's just follow me here. My clients who it's to them, it's not about, oh, I'm going to skip the Dunkin' iced coffee, or I'm going to hunt somebody down, you know to get the pen back that they took that out of the office. So that's not what I'm talking about. But they enjoy watching the dollars and cents going in and out. They enjoy when they get coffee service to their office that they got a good deal or a better deal, or they save money in their auto insurance. It doesn't make them cheap. It just, they're hardwired in that regard where they, for the most part, they enjoy that. It's like fun for them to get the best possible deal. And these people are not cheap. They treat their friends out to nice things. They give to charities, right? They do really, really good things. Uh, so that's one of the things that I notice they do. They watch their P's and Q's, because if you, to them, if you can't watch your dollars and your pennies, then I can't trust you to watch your millions, right? So that's their attitude. Like if you f up on a little bit of money, imagine how bad you're going to be with a lot of money. So to them, being good with a little bit of money is part of being good with a lot of money. It has nothing to do with being cheap. It's just a mindset. I see this pretty consistently. All right. It's not, again, a matter of saving a buck. They're for the most part, they're good tippers. They're not trying to save money on a tip. It's just like everyday, ordinary things. They don't see a lot of value in paying more than they should for a paper clip or a pen or whatever it is. They could drive a wonderful, beautiful car. Okay. It has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with just being good with a little bit of money means you're good with a lot of money, and vice versa. Not like I'm bad with a little bit of money, but if I have a lot of money, I'll all of a sudden get good with it. It doesn't work like that. This is why lottery winners, okay, this is why lottery winners go broke, because if they weren't good with the little bit of money they had, then it's just going to, their bad personal finance habits get magnified with a lot of money. And then they blew through their money. And then you're like, they're another lottery winner who went bust. That's quite common in lottery winners. Okay. The other mindset that they have is they're, another mindset that they have is they don't obsess over business and over money. They don't think about it 24 hours a day. They can compartmentalize. They could go to a Yankees game and love the heck out of it. They could go play golf, work on their car, play their guitar, and they truly get lost in it. And they don't feel guilty or bad about it. To them, it's part of their success. They go to their kids' ball game, their kids' soccer game, or scouts thing, whatever. And it's really important to them to be present. They know how to be present. Okay. My most successful clients, you are not going to see them pounding away at Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn all day long. It's just, they go on it maybe once a day. They do a quick scroll, the birthdays, and they're off. Okay. So they're not obsessed with that. The other thing is that aside from knowing how to relax and find things that they enjoy, they do love investing in things that bring in more money. My most successful clients, a lot of them own real estate. They didn't start as real estate investors. They made money first, and they love the idea of assets that create cash flow. They have stocks too. That's why they're clients. I mean, my business is, investing in stocks, bonds, exchange traded funds, mutual funds, an investment plan, a financial plan. I help people with a lot of things: insurance, tax mitigation, all of these things. By the way, I'm not a tax advisor. I speak about taxes and work with my clients in taxes as far as what my discipline allows me to do. But when it gets to individual tax matters, I always advise them, make sure we clear this with your CPA first. Okay. So we're your enrolled agent if you use an EA. No offense to you EAs out there. So it's not that they obsess about money all day and obsess about business, but they really love to find a better process for their business. This is how we've done something all the time, and they are just masters at finding the friction in their business and figuring out a way to get rid of it, to overcome it. A lot of us don't even know what friction we face every day when we work because we're in the minutia of the day. We're so stuck in our ways. I'll give you an example. Like I make these live streams, and then we take these little video clips, and then Natalie works on them. And there are some days when I just miss it, and they kind of get lost in the sauce. I'm like, what a waste! I have to stop that. So, it's friction, or certain software that I use that's just not working well with my other software, and it slows me down, slows down my work. I figure something out. I get rid of it, or whatever it is. I love finding ways to make my business run more efficiently. So, wealthy clients love, a sign of their success is that they love to find inefficiencies. They love to find ways where, not necessarily doing every little thing to make more money. They also believe that finding efficiencies or eliminating friction in their business, that in and of itself brings in more money for them, for their business. And it's not so much that if they have an extra $100,000 a quarter is going to make or break their lives. They enjoyed making their business better. It's a satisfaction that they get. All right. Another thing that they really focus on is they really like when their employees are happy. I have yet to find a successful client who's a business owner who made a lot of money by being a jerk with their employees. And a lot of businesses, you notice, they don't treat people well, or you don't like them. And I look, this is not about not having disagreements. I mean, my clients own businesses, they fire people, they hire people, they have disagreements with their employees. Ultimately, it's their business, so it's their way or the highway. But they have an open ear from the lowest person. They don't look at anybody like the low person in the business, but they look at people with different levels of experience. They love to see employees grow into a bigger role. They love to ask somebody, well, you're new here, you've been doing this for 6 months. Based on this, and that, what would you do different? How would you do differently? They love to get input from people who are actually doing a particular job. They love it. And they love giving somebody more responsibility, and they love rewarding financially. They love paying their employees more money. They're not obsessed with being loved by their employees. They're not obsessed about, oh, what if they don't like me? They like me. They just want to know that I have an open ear for you. Oh, I'm going to give you all due respect as my fellow human being. I don't thumb my nose at you. I don't look down on you. I look at us as equals. We have different roles. Okay? And you have to do your role. I have to do mine. That's how they look at it. But they're not trying to be liked. I find that they're not obsessed with whether or not the people like them or not. So that's why some take it too far, some don't, I guess. But that's another thing that the wealthier clients take a look at. You don't have to be a business owner to have that mindset. This could be a mindset that goes with your fellow employees, your coworkers, people underneath you, people above you. But they want their employees to know, and their coworkers to know, that, hey, I have an open ear. And if you disagree with me on something, I would never get mad at you, because if I act like that, like I'm pissed off, you're not going to communicate with me anymore. And once we don't have open, honest communications, and you're just telling me what I want to hear, that's never a good thing. So that's another thing in the mindset. A lot of them delegate. Actually, all of them delegate, not a lot of them. When you are a small business and you get so used to doing everything yourself, it's really hard to imagine what you could give to somebody. No, I have to do that. No, I have to do that. No, it's got to be done this way. It's got to be done that way. And it's really hard to give that up. I'm guilty of that myself many, many times. It's hard to give something up. My accountant, okay, my accountant, Jimmy is his first name, Jim, and he's also a very dear friend of mine. And it used to be that I would deal directly with him. His business has gotten much bigger, and I'm so happy for him. I don't deal directly with Jimmy anymore. I deal with this other accountant in his office because my needs aren't up to the level anymore that he has. Now, I'd say once in a while I call him up for an acquisition, hiring somebody, a specific tax issue. I still talk to him, but I only talk to him when I have like a very specialized question. But for my regular taxes, my tax returns for my business and myself, um, I don't need him for that. He doesn't need to do that. And you know what? That's okay. I'm cool with that because I understand he built his business to be successful and he still oversees everything. So what I'm telling you is that if you get to a point where you have to start to delegate things to your employees to handle for your clients, don't think that your clients are going to be annoyed with you and not want to deal with you, or they'll be upset that you're not handling their accounts. They'll be happy that they're getting the service. They know you're still in charge. They know you're there if they have a specific question, and they know you're there if there's a particular problem. You're there to fix it, and you've got the employees to work with them to even avoid getting into a problem in the first place. But misunderstandings do happen. So successful people don't mind delegating, and they never ever think in their head that their customers are going to have a problem with it. As far as they're concerned, their customers will be happy about it, happy for them. They'll continue to get better service, so it's a good thing. So that's another thing that the successful clientele deals with. I deal with vendors who are my friends and my clients. My IT guy is a friend of mine. Okay, payroll is a friend of mine. I mean, all these vendors I use are from my networking over the years on Long Island. And I'm sure it's the same wherever you are. And, I don't deal directly with my friend in many, many cases. I deal with other people in their company. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just the way it goes. And I have my staff who helps me, my staff, and it's going to get bigger. Don't you worry. I want a big staff too. But by the way, I'm moving offices to 425 Broad Hollow Road. It's across the street on Route 110, Broad Hollow Road diagonal. And I hope you'll all come down and visit. Very, very excited. I'm not sure how I'm going to set up the office and the studio and everything when I'm there. Do I set it up exactly the same? Do I do a refresh? But these are the things that I enjoy thinking about. It's fun for me. Like, wow, your biggest problem in life is, should you have the brick background or should you have a different background? Right. So these are important things about them. But overall, they love to invest. They love to see how things turn out. They're patient. And they love learning. Oh, the last thing, I'll leave it at this. Successful people, my clients are successful. They're always learning new stuff. They're always learning. It doesn't matter if they're retired. They want to constantly learn. They're reading, they're understanding. Somehow, a lot of them find their way into doing things that seems like work again, but they're just getting a tremendous amount of satisfaction out of it. Many of the most successful ones, yeah, a lot of them play golf. And some of them are very good. But they're not one-dimensional like their whole life. It's all about golf, and that's all they can talk about is golf. It's all they think about is golf. They have other interests. So these are some of the things I want to share with you about successful money mindset. And I'm lucky to have these people to learn from firsthand and to ask them questions firsthand. I don't mind asking a client for some business advice. I have clients who own successful businesses. They ask me for business advice. And it's just a nice circle of people to go to. And when people ask me a question or ask them a question, I share it with you here in the live stream so that we could all benefit from it. Yeah, business owners, They don't hoard processes and information. They think sharing stuff is like it's their duty to share smart things that they've learned along the way. It's like it's important to them to share. They don't have this like scarcity mindset. Well, if I give away that, I'm giving away a secret, and that could help my competition and hurt me. They would never think like that. That's a scarcity mentality. That's the last thing. My successful clients, they don't have a scarcity mentality. They they don't even think about things like that. They just give. And they understand that when they get back something, they might not get something in return from the person they gave to, but they know they'll get it back some way, somehow from someone. And that's all they really care about. I teach that to my kids all the time. All right, that's about it. It's good midday break from talking about the market. Yeah, the CPI numbers came out. They were a little bit lighter than expected. That's good. Didn't do a whole hell of a lot. Well, the NASDAQ was up over 1%, so that was a pretty good day. But we're just marking time. The markets have been very, very flat. I have my own idea of what happens in the market this year. And I think you all need to consider the possibility that the S&P 500 could rally 16% from where it is now. And that would put it at a new all-time high. You can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest in a security that tracks or mimics an index. But it only has to go up 16%. The regional banks you hear about, they're not in the S&P 500. Or Airbnb stock got tanked today. It's not in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 measures the performance of the biggest 500 stocks on U.S. U.S. indexes that are traded in the U.S. Listed stocks in the U.S. The top 20 are the only ones that really count, and they're doing fine. Anyway, the stock market and the economy are two different things. Have a great day, and I so greatly appreciate you joining me. See you tomorrow.